Hi everyone, this is Dom. We're back for part two of the podcast with Duane Probst of Little Texas, and we talked earlier about the long career you guys had. That's the one thing about music these days. You can have an album, a few hits, and be successful, and all of a sudden, second album comes out, you don't have a hit record straight off the bat, and they just let you go. But you guys have been able to stay relevant in this business for over 20 years, so it says a lot about the fact that you were able to keep yourself relevant in a business that is very hard to do, right?
Oh yeah, it's very hard to do that. I can't tell you, Porter and I sat down on the bus on a long bus trip a while back and started looking back at the 90s and saying, okay, he's gone, she's gone, that band's gone. So many have gotten tombstones on them. And we're just so fortunate that we have a great fan base that's behind us that, keeps us going. Our fans are everything. It's amazing how many people grew up with this stuff, and, we wrote the soundtrack to their lives, and they continue to bring their kids and everything else and tell them the stories about when they heard, say, What Might Have Been, or God Bless Texas, or Some Guys, or, whatever song, and, this is my favorite band. I did that with my dog, The Kiss. I grew up with these guys, and just, God, they suck.
And
I don't care. No, they're great. They're the best band in the world. Shut up.
I just want to share a story with you, and my friend Mike is right here with me, and he can corroborate. But about 15 years ago, we do where I used to live. I had a big campfire thing. I could park my car and listen to music very loud because the neighbors were kind of far away. And I would say that at least once or twice during the summer, we would have our little Texas evening. All we would do is drink beer, drink some good whiskey, and beside the campfire and listen to Little Texas. And you remember, Mike?
Of course.
And we would, be Little Texas. I had the live CD, when I went to see you guys at Billy Bob's. There was an album of songs, I remember that I bought songs that never were released and stuff like that. So I had a lot of music from you. And I would listen to it, and I never got tired of it. And a lot of music, sometimes, you go back and listen to it like 15 years after, and you're like, oh my God, I haven't listened to, let's say, John Barry for so long. Oh my God, it's so good. But I never stopped listening to you. I would say you and Wade Hayes and Travis Tritt are probably the three guys, and Neil McCoy, that I never, ever, ever stopped listening to. And it's the funny thing is that all of you guys are still making music right now, even today, and like Wade, like I said before, he came out last year with an amazing new record after battling cancer. And have you ever met Wade personally during all those years on the road?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You did?
Several times.
I've seen Wade live. He's a great performer, and I'm sure he seems like the kind of guy you cannot not like. Wade is, right? Seems like a good guy.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy, and actually, I didn't know about his cancer battle. That surprised me. I guess I need to should have called him to him and check on him. Wade is a fantastic song stylist. He's one of those guys that when you hear that voice, it's him.
Exactly. And the song that he came out with called Go Live Your Life is about the battle that he had with cancer. He had two bouts with cancer. Now he's cancer-free, thankfully. And but it took a toll on him. He still looks awesome. The voice is still the same amazing voice. But the song, if you never heard it, Go Live Your Life, the video's on YouTube. And he shot the video with like a GoPro camera and, those new cameras, that just fly over your car, in his ranch, and that's an amazingly beautiful video. Very, very, it was an amazing video, and the song itself is totally amazing. But he has a brand new record, and the songs means a lot. You can see that the songs are coming straight from the heart, not just necessarily something that was written for him. Or listen to this. There's going to be a good hit on the radio. I think both of you are past that stage of your career where you need to just think about having hit records.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the best things about getting old. You can start creating things that are pointed to you, things that matter to you, and if you want to do a song that's 6 minutes long, You can do it.
It's true.
Why not? You know, who's going to tell you no?
That's so true. That's if you can play your when you go to do a show, you can play your songs that never were hits, and people, like I said before, one of my favorite songs from you guys are "Loud and Proud." Never was a hit. I don't think it was radio friendly, but amazing song. Like I said, told you before, I was scrolling YouTube looking for songs about you guys, and I saw sound checks of Loud and Proud, 2 versions of it, and I was totally blown away. That was amazing. I was like, wow, I hope you guys do it during your live show, because that's a rocking song, and it's a very beautiful song too. Living in a Bullseye, also from one of your records, never was a hit, but that was a great song. And something I wanted to ask you, because I've never known this answer, but one of my favorite songs from you is "Yesterday's Gone Forever," but I don't know who was singing. Was it Porter who sang "Yesterday's Gone Forever"?
That was Tim Rushlow.
That was Tim? Oh, okay, because it didn't sound like Tim. I know Tim was still in the band at that time, but I just thought it was not Tim. When I listened to it, it didn't sound like him. So I always wondered through the years, who sang "Yesterday's Gone Forever," because that was another very beautiful song. It kind of
that was a song that was co-written by our friend Ralph Murphy.
Oh,
Ralph has written hits for everybody from. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. But if you Google Ralph Murphy, the songwriter, you'll see what he's done in his life. He is one of the most interesting people on the planet. He's done just a little bit of everything. He produced April Wine, wrote several songs for them. But he's written some of the most beautiful songs that have ever been created. And that song was really one of the best I think he's ever come up with.
Wow. That's the story, because that song, is I still use it as almost like a hashtag for me in my own life. That yesterday's gone forever, and today ain't far behind. And it's so true. It can apply to everything you do in your life, not just music, but I mean when you do something. If today is. Life is now. Tomorrow we can't do nothing about tomorrow, and yesterday's gone. So you're creating tomorrow
live in the moment. Live in the moment.
Exactly. Exactly, and the melody of the song was also very, very, very great. And we got Heather on the chat, saying that she thinks it was Duane O'Brien singing the lead vocals of "Yesterday's Gone Forever."
Oh, he did. That's right. Yeah. Who am I to question Heather? She's completely correct. That was Duane O'Brien. My bad.
So, Heather, she should be doing the podcast with me.
Alzheimer's kicks in. Yes, Duane O'Brien did sing that. Absolutely. Yeah. He did a wonderful job of that.
He did.
Golly, the older I get, the more of an idiot I turn into.
Heather, next time I do a podcast, I should have her as my co-host. She's amazing, And, yeah.
Thank goodness we have our fans that keep me in check.
Yeah, we have Tammy on Twitter.
Hey, Donald. Hey, Heather.
Hey, and we have Tammy also on Twitter asking you, Tammy Miller, a good friend of mine, saying, what song did you guys have the most fun recording over your careers?
One we most enjoyed recording. It would have to be one off the new album. Trying to think. There's one song on the new album that we were all jumping around the studio while we were doing it.
On the new album?
Yeah. Yeah, on Young for a Long Time.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was Young for a Long Time. That's what it was.
Wow, that's it.
We had that was just so easy. But we were all just we just felt that groove, and we were literally like I was jumping through the air, having a ball. Nell was just blasting, and yeah, that was one of the most fun last.
Well, because
years, anyway.
It's the title track from your new album, and that's no coincidence, because that's the one song I had still on my computer ready to play, and it's a live performance you did at a CDX Nashville radio station not that long ago, and
don't play that one. Play the real one.
Yeah. And it was absolutely
I
amazing.
hate that one. That was terrible.
Oh, no, but I think
That was the real track.
the real track, yeah, perfect. I can find the real track right now while we're talking, but I think that
I'm
the
putting you on
song.
the spot because I hate that CDX thing.
Oh, you didn't like it? So you're very hard on yourself.
No, that song. Yeah, the live track, the real track is exceptional.
It truly
Yeah.
is,
Oh.
truly is. It's one of my. So I'm gonna put the right track, just a little part of it right now, so people can listen and make their own mind about it. But I really love this song. It's a little Texas song, like you said before. When you listen to your to Little Texas, it's a Little Texas song in a flash. Just the few strings. It's you guys. So here it is, Young for a Long Time.
On the radio, then we watched a man walk on the moon. And by the time the boss sang born in the USA, we knew that there was nothing we couldn't do. Yeah, it was our turn, so we hit the ground running, got to work, set our sights on being something, and we ain't slowing down anytime soon. Don't you know by now we've got this down? That Friday night fire still hadn't gone out. We got a rock solid life in the rock and roll state of mind. We were born to run, so sit down, son. We'll show you just how it's done. 'Cause we've been young for a long time.
Wow, that's a great rocking song. You still got it down to a T, right? This is the song that shows that you guys still have that passion for what you do, and you're still rocking. It's like we're not ready to go yet.
Oh no, well, we don't have one foot in the grave. We're compared to some of our compatriots, we are very, very young at this point.
Yeah, because you started.
When you come out in 1991, you got to figure there was nobody out there that didn't have facial hair except for us. They were we were the youngest band signed to a label at that time. And yeah, that's just the fact. We've been young for a long time. We started out young, and we still feel young, and still look halfway decent. So.
Yeah, but you still look the same. You still look the same. And I see the reaction of people on Twitter about the song and on the chat room, and people are like, "Wow, it's a fabulous song!" And I'm jamming to that one. So yeah, it's this kind of song, feel good song. You can put it on Friday night after work, and on Monday morning when you don't feel like going to work. This is the new kind of Loud and Proud, or Kick a Little. Kick a Little was also a song I want to talk about because, to me, growing up, you hear a lot of people talking about people getting bullied. Yeah, WWE, do a lot of anti-bullying campaign right now. And when I was younger, I never was bullied, but I saw a lot of people getting bullied. So that song to me meant a lot. And I know it changed a lot of people's lives. And I remember even back before social media, that was a song that meant a lot to a lot of people. And the words, sometimes you got to kick a little. You can't just stand there. Sometimes you have to put your foot and say, no, enough is enough. And tell me more about the story behind the song. But it became also one of your big hits. But it's a song that still gets played today on the radio and still sound as good as it did back then.
Well, the whole philosophy behind Kick a Little is us giving the fat finger to everybody that says you can't do this. We had so many people at the time going, you can't, there's no way you can make it. There's no way you can do this. You're too young. You look like like Def Leppard. So we basically raised our middle finger to them and said, F you, watch this.
Exactly.
We've written several songs that basically embrace that. Kind of like what Kiss did in the '70s. It's all about just telling people, don't tell us no. If you tell us no, it's just going to make us mad, and then we're going to do it in spite of you.
and prove
And
people wrong.
this
But
day, that's what we embrace.
But proving people wrong. But I always say when people talk about proving people wrong, it's more about proving yourself right than proving people wrong, because there's always going to be doubters and people, jealous people. But when you go like, you know what, I told you so and I did it, then that's the most satisfying thing in the world.
Absolutely, all day long. And there's no reason in the world why anybody can't, get off their butt, do something, and make a difference in the world, and do something different. Even though the social norm or whatever says you can't do it anyway. If that's what's in your heart, go with it. Go with God, and I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work. If it doesn't work, learn from your mistakes. Try it again.
Exactly, and even your manager told me that it said, it would be the end of your career to put "God Bless Texas" as a hit. It's like, okay, we did it. That song became our signature hit, and we did it in spite of being afraid, because if it had turned out to be a career killer, the chances of that happening were slim. But at the same time, you took a chance, and not a lot of young artists are willing to do that these days. Take chances. They will 90% of the artists would be like, oh, okay, we're not putting it as a single, and what a mistake it would have been.
Well, the fact is, it's not up to the artist anymore. They have to answer to whatever they tell them to do, and it's a sad state. There are very few artists out there now that are allowed to do exactly what they want to do. If they would stand up for themselves a little bit, then these labels might back down a little bit and say, okay, well, this guy, he doesn't like this, so let's, maybe trust him. You never know what's going to get squashed and what's going to rise to the top like cream. You just never know. And then sometimes the artist could be wrong too. So you never know.
Yeah, exactly. We have Christy on the chat room saying that Little Texas bonded a lot of us together, and we helped her to literally help her kick a little. But it's true, that you're a band that seems more than just a band. It's almost like a lifestyle. You guys stood up and created a brand new sound. Back in the day, and even today, you still have your own style of music, and your fans are very loyal to you guys, and it's something to be proud of, that the fans that started listening to your songs in the 90s are still listening in 2015, when we know the short attention span that people have these days. It's almost like a miracle to have so many people keep on following you 20 something years after you started.
It all belongs to the songs. The songs are everything. If the songs weren't real, they wouldn't last. And, fortunately, we are songwriters, and we write songs about things that happen to us in our lives. So, therefore, it translates. It's real stuff. What might have been is real on so many levels to so many people. We all have ours, but that's not to say you don't have yours, and the guy down the street doesn't have his, and the girl, across town doesn't have hers. It translates on so many different levels. And when you write about real life and things that happen to you, it just works. It's just real.
Exactly. It's easy to see through, like I said before, 19-year-old kid, from California singing a song like What Might Have Been wouldn't make any sense, and even though you were still kind of young when you sang those songs, you meant it, you were able to make, I remember the video of You and Forever and Me, you guys in the bus, and could see you guys were tired. It was, you were on the road for, is it right? 320 shows a year for 3 straight years?
Yeah.
That's totally crazy.
Yeah, that was a kind of a tough day. Of course, my model was really gorgeous, and I didn't mind at all. I had a good time that day.
My God. But all those this time on the road, looking through the windows and everything. That's what struck me about the video is that you could see you guys looking through the window of the and I relate to it because I'm on the road a lot for paranormal investigations, and just about 2 weeks ago I was coming back from West Virginia, which is like 16 hours, and I was driving straight back, and looking through the window and being like, my God, all this traveling, and we're not getting paid, just us, investigating across the U.S. and I'm like so many miles, but at the same time, there's something about traveling, listening to music on the radio that just makes you feel like you're learning about yourself on the road. You're learning about it gives you time, because when you're at home and you work and you come back to do whatever you do, there's no time to think about anything. But when you're on the road, you can think about what's going on, what the good things you're doing, the things you could do better, and all in all, you can learn about yourself a little bit more. And is it the same thing with you guys being on the road so much? Gave you time to create, to write songs, to learn about yourselves and to learn about patience, and to see so much country, meet so many people on the road? Is this one of the reasons why you guys were so wise beyond your age, even back then?
Well, that's a very deep and multi-level question. Being on the road is something that is not for the timid. It's not easy. Everybody thinks that, you get catered to and, you have people that do things for you. No, it doesn't happen that way. Usually what you do is you get up in the morning, you go to sound check, do your thing there, and then you're sequestered in a hotel room until it's time to go back and do a meet and greet, and then you do your show. There's really not a lot of glamour and glitz to it. But the best part about it is, meeting people. And I've met some of the most interesting people on the road. And Del always talks about this, about how some artists will sit on their bus all day and not come out and talk to people or anything. We get off the bus, first thing we do is go and meet everybody around us. And we meet some of the fun, interesting people that you just wouldn't see anywhere else. In fact, we're working with a guy named Andy Ross on a pilot show called Back on the Back Roads. It's a reality show where he goes out with us, and we go and just meet interesting people and see what they do and get into their lives and, hunt, fish, whatever, blow stuff up half the time. There's anywhere you go, there's always fun, nice people to meet. And, if you deny that from yourself by just, sequestering yourself, you're doing yourself an injustice. And I think we've always tried our best to go and look at towns and meet people and say howdy and become a part of the community in the little time that we had there and learn something from them. And, you never know. You're going to pick up a song title somewhere, always.
That's so true. That's so, yeah. Because sometimes when you're on the road, I always make it like, make sure, if I'm, let's say in West Virginia, places I've never been or I just passed through, you stop to local diners because you're going to meet people from there. I'm not going to stop at a McDonald's when I'm on the road. I'll stop and talk to people and talk to the guy at the motel, and ask him about the experiences he had there or whatever, or people he met. And there's so much stuff you can learn from talking to people. And sometimes, people, hey, where were you doing? Well, I was talking in the lobby with a lady, from, Louisiana. She's traveling and she just started talking to me, and you meet people and you learn. I think when you stop doing that is when you stop learning, there's something wrong.
Exactly.
And for what you say, you like writing songs and, getting inspired to write songs. The best example is when you were driving in Kansas and you saw, those trucks, for, the soldier, that died in Afghanistan, and you wrote the song, Slow Ride Home. That's the kind of thing that inspire you to write amazing songs and to, to just to also to embrace the people that we meet, and because sometimes you don't have an idea that the guy you just talked to before your show, it's something for you. You've been on the road for so long, but for those people, it means the world to me, to them. Like when Wade Ace talked to me, I remember I was in Norwood, Colorado. And, he was doing 2 shows in a row. So we drove we had a show on Monday in Pueblo. We had to drive all across Colorado to go to see Wade on Sunday and then go back on Monday to see Mark Wills in Pueblo. So we got there 10 minutes before the show. We got the last tickets. We saw Wade. He had only 30 minutes before both of his shows. And we talked to his manager and we said, just before we go, we'd like to meet him. So he said, wait, they were cleaning the bar because they had new people coming in for the second show, and Wade came out and he just hang out with us for about 5-6 minutes. It was like, where are you from? I'm from Montreal. Montreal? He drove all the way. My God, you guys are crazy. 35 hours. Yeah, it's nothing. We're on our way to California. He was like, oh my God, I never would be able to do that. And I'm like, Wade Ace telling me that he wouldn't be able to do something I'm doing. No way.
Hey, I wouldn't. I couldn't do it either. I don't like driving from Nashville to Memphis.
Oh,
yeah. Well, when you're on a tour bus for a long time, you kind of get spoiled about long driving.
Yeah, do you still have your bus when you travel? Because, you still travel, right? On the weekends? You still do, I was looking at your tours, you're still going to Kansas, a lot of places. You're still traveling in Texas and a lot of miles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of windshield time, man.
And is this, you plan on keep on doing it? Now you have the new album also, so it's probably fun for you to have new songs to add to your song list when you do live shows.
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to fit those things in. Now, you have to do all the hits. Now,
yeah.
Granted, we talked about this earlier. If you don't do certain songs, then you're going to get shot. So
exactly,
we try to work in as many of the hits as we can, and still try to show some of the new stuff in there. People like Heather and Christy that have seen 50 or 60 shows a piece, they can pretty much figure out what we're going to do next. But every once in a while, we'll surprise them.
With songs you haven't done in a long time, and I know it's hard, sometimes to because if you wanted to, you can play. If you're 7, 8, 9 CDs in, 100 songs. You can't play 100 songs on your show, so it's impossible to play all the songs. And when I go and see Bon Jovi, I would love them not to play Living on a Prayer, since I've seen Living on a Prayer live for about 1 million times. But I know that if a kid goes to see Bon Jovi for the first time and they don't play Living on a Prayer, like you said before, they're probably going to shoot John. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta hear boom, bop, bop, bop. If you don't hear that, you're gonna walk away disappointed.
Exactly. Like if you were to go and not play What Might Have Been or God Bless Texas and Kick a Little, then people will leave disappointed, and that's the last thing you want.
Exactly. Yeah, we want everybody to just have fun. The biggest thing, come out and party, drink a cold beer, and enjoy the night. Just relish the music, relish the fun. While we can still do this, let's all just have fun. We only have so many days on the planet Earth, so let's enjoy.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, that's true. Heather says that the biggest surprise you ever played live was How Many Chances, and she cried during the whole thing. I never heard this song. What is that? Do you remember playing that song live?
Oh yeah. I remember when Heather cried.
Yeah. I'll go on YouTube and find this song. Who is the singer of this song? I never heard it.
Well, that's on the new album, for a long time.
Oh, okay, great. Wow. So I can't.
It's a brand new song. A total departure from anything we've ever done before. It's kind of a torch song, and it's a rarity. Every once in a while we'll pull it out, and it's a fun song to play.
And Christy also said she loved the fact that you added Southern Grace to your mix because you playing sometimes medleys of your hits. And I realized too, I saw it on YouTube, you mixed now Southern Grace because that's also one of my favorite songs that you ever did. And Redneck Like Me. That was on the third record. Redneck Like Me was that song on Saturday nights where we would do double whiskey shots. So we got drunk a lot, listening to this song. And we would try to sing. That was not Tim singing that. Who was singing the lead on the?
That was Brady on Redneck Like Me. Yeah. Now we have a new one called Rednecks Do Exist, which is kind of an answer to Redneck Like Me. That was first person. Rednecks Do Exist is kind of a all-encompassing thing of rednecks all across the planet.
Oh yeah, I do consider myself a redneck. Redneck from Canada, but I am.
Hey man, rednecks are everywhere. Anywhere there's somebody drinking a beer and doing something stupid, rednecks do exist.
Yeah, so we're everywhere around the world. There's rednecks. That's so true. Yeah. That's so true.
The famous last words of a redneck. Hey y'all, watch this. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. It happens everywhere.
It really does. And, just before I let you go, and it was very enjoyable for me. It was enjoyed talking to you, and hopefully one of these days we can maybe have you and Porter or Dale or somebody else on from the band to talk with us. I'm sure they also have a lot of stories to tell, and the one thing I love about the band there doesn't seem to be any drama. Just seeing you live here during that session, in Nashville, the radio station, you feel the the chemistry between you guys and the friendship, like four brothers. That's what it seems to me, like four brothers.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I said this years ago. You put guys in a 45-foot long aluminum tube, either they're going to beat the shit out of each other, or they're going to become best friends, and that's what happened. We are best friends. We are like brothers. We know each other probably better than our wives know us.
Oh yeah.
I can pretty much guarantee you that. Our little idiosyncrasies, our ins and outs. We know when to talk to somebody, when not to talk to somebody. When to do this, when to do that, and it is a very much a family relationship.
And each other.
I wouldn't give it up for the world. I love these guys so much. And, we did spend 6 years apart, and that was the worst 6 years of my life when I was apart from these guys. And, I'll be completely honest, I would not let this stop unless my body fails.
It was like something was missing from your life. Exactly. Exactly, because this is so much part of what you do. This is part of your life. This is, like I always said before, to me, ghost hunting is part of my life. But to you, playing in front of people, creating music is a big, big part of you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
you nailed it.
And hopefully, like you said, I hope you keep doing it for years because I love listening to your music, and I'm not the only one. Thousands and thousands of people love listening to your music, and I'm very, very happy, that you took the time to do the podcast tonight. I really enjoyed talking to you, Duane. Really appreciate it. Like I said before, I feel like I've known you for a long time.
Well, man, I sure do appreciate you calling me and asking me to do this because I've had a lot of fun. You want to sit it out with Kick a little?
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story about that one real quick?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right. When people say, what is the funnest song that you ever recorded? Yeah, and you asked me this earlier, but while this wasn't the funnest one I ever recorded, the funniest thing I ever did in a song was on Kick a Little, because when he goes in the solo section, if you listen to the bass line, it is the bass line from Ozzy Osbourne's Flying High Again.
Wow.
That song went top 5 in country radio, and I got away with it.
Wow. That's amazing.
So there you go. So hear Ozzy.
My goodness! So is this the first time you've told somebody that Is that?
Hell no! I told people for years.
Oh, okay, good, awesome. That's amazing. That's a great story. You know, that's the kind of stuff that is amazing to hear because so much happened. You know, during a career. You know, like you said. You know, you making videos. Something else before we go. Making videos is something you enjoyed as much as playing live, or was it like more like a burden for you?
I would rather pull monkeys out of my ass than make a video. that's one of the hardest things that there is to do, to be honest. It's a whole day of sitting around and waiting and doing nothing, and then, all right, now we're ready for you. At that point, you're tired. You really don't want to be there. And yeah, but usually they have good food sitting around so you can kind of eat during the day. Outside of that, I'm not much for them.
Yeah, but you know that I love the new ways of making videos, like on slow ride home, you know, like the pictures and everything coming up together. That's amazing. You know, to me, that's maybe the new phase of making videos. You know, the old school videos are just things, you know, like a storyline unfolding. You don't see it as often anymore, but I think that this kind of video, you know, really touches a lot of people because it's life. It's a true story. It's not just, two actors, you know?
Exactly. That's the best way of making video is to do a bunch of pictures and put them together.
That's so true. And
in my book.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So when the podcast is finished, I'm going to post a video on my Twitter and Facebook. But it's an amazing video, and the links to the new album on your on your webpage. And I can't wait, because I ordered mine, and I can't wait to listen to it because now I've been able to listen to a few of the songs on the. On your website, there's like a minute of each song that you can listen to. But, the album, there's 13 songs. So everybody's going to have their money's worth, and 2 new versions of what might have been in God Bless Texas also. So that's an amazing record. I can't wait to have it and listen to it. And for those that didn't know, there's also a live record that you did 6 years ago. Very Best of Little Texas, live and loud. I still listen to it very often. Very great record, very underrated. And Missing Years, that was also 2007, amazing. There's a lot of stuff from you guys and a lot of hidden gems through it. So people can go back on littletexasonline.com and on Twitter, Little Texas Band, and on Facebook too. So very easy to find on social media.
Yep. All you got to do is Google Little Texas. We're there.
Yeah. Still going strong, and still kicking.
Yeah, we try. But we have a really good time, and the best thing about it is that we really have a lot of fun every time we do a show, everywhere we go. And please come out and see us. Bring your kids. It's a family show. It's just a lot of fun. And bring beach balls.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you.
Beach balls.
That's a good. People did, when I saw you live at Billy Bob. So that's you guys. I'm very, very happy you have a new album. Very happy. You should. I just hope, like I said before, I'd rather wait 5 or 6 years between albums and have good albums, but I just don't want to wait another 6 years for a new album. So
you know what, brother? I don't either. Let's just see what happens.
Like you said before, day by day, right?
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Wayne, for your time, and really looking forward for the next time we can have a chat together.
Yeah, thanks, Dom. Man, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you tonight.
All right, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. It's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, in this business, in country music. Very down-to-earth and awesome guy. And like I said before, my favorite country band of all time, Little Texas. I'm very happy for the chance that we had to talk for about an hour and a half. And, I'll be back tomorrow night for a podcast with Samantha of Ghost Hunters. And till then, everybody have a good night. Thank you for listening.